My name is Jean Lester, but most people call me Shayna because Shayna is the name that I was given when I was unconditionally loved, and I like to be called a name that makes me feel very loved. So I invite anybody that's listening to this that calls me to call me Shayna. And I'm a marriage and family therapist. I've been licensed since 1979, and I love my work. I love everything I do. I also am a spiritual counselor and a spiritual director, an interfaith minister, and a volunteer prison chaplain. I think that working in a prison, I have been exposed to really actually, it sounds really crazy to the outside world, but to wonderful, wonderful people who are willing to unmask themselves and open up at the soul level. So I have been exposed to people that have committed every type of crime possible. I think that it has made me a better person, being able to look at people, everybody, as a holy soul. And I think in terms of my personal practice as a marriage and family therapist, I operate that way in my practice, that I see each person that comes in as a person that's really holy, no matter what the situation is. My job as a therapist is to help guide the person through the healing process and to actually sit with them as they evolve in their own process, to almost act as a witness for their process, to be able to feed back to a person what it is I see, but all in a very loving and caring manner. I think that my own search for wholeness and healing and my own search for something greater than myself has absolutely influenced who I am as a therapist. In fact, I know it has, because the kind of therapist that I am now versus the kind that I was 30 years ago is very different. 30 years ago, I was much more interested in technique and modality than I am now. Now my interest is really in just being very present. Actually, I was always a social activist. My major when I was in college was psychology, and I got married after college and had my children, my family, and then I went back to school to become a school counselor. And during that time, I was involved in work in starting the counseling program in a shelter for abused women. And I realized, it was really a vocational counseling program, I realized that what I really wanted to be was a therapist. So during that time is when I went back to school, did my 3,000 hours to become a marriage and family therapist, and that's how I really got started in it. I want to say that I love my work, I love working with people, I love people, and I just look forward to talking to anybody that would like to call me and have a conversation.